I don't know if I need to go over to YouTube and share it. But we are live, boys.
Oh, yeah, I see the live right there.
Sir.
It's live. We're live, pal. I may need to go over to YouTube and figure this out real quick. So if it gets all choppy, I apologize. I think I need to go over there and share the link because we are broadcasting live on my YouTube page. Maybe. If I can find it. There it is. I just need to share this. All right, let me get out of this. Go back into my book and into Discord. And we will get it going. Ian knows this stuff a lot better than I know it. So this is the first time I've ever used this stuff. So if it gets a little long, I apologize.
You know more than me.
Barely.
Your time's up.
Oh yeah, it definitely gets me too. Wait, it's
Friday evening, the 20th.
Okay. Well, I see Caleb is here, obviously. He's talking to us in the chat. What's up, Caleb? He's going to be a late addition, so he's not going to be on that sheet that I sent you guys, Tyler. He is taking the place of one of my filler spots that I had when I created. We were like a couple people short of 120. So I added like my dog to it. So on your sheet where you see Justice Stewart, it's actually going to be Caleb Davis. We'll get to him a little farther down the list. See, Mike MacGyver is here. What's up, Mike? 4 people watching currently. All right, so for those of you guys that are watching, and it's only 3 of you guys currently, what we're going to do is we're not going to do this like a normal draft. We're going to kind of go team by team because of the way that we did this with goalies and strikers being essential. We had to make sure that there were 1 goalie and 1 striker per team, so we didn't really do a draft per se. We drafted by position and then backfilled with everybody else at different positions. So instead of just going through a regular, like, you're the first pick in the draft, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go through everybody's team, who got assigned to what teams. And then Nick and Tyler are going to tell you about those teams because they're soccer guys and I am not. So my soccer knowledge goes back to when I was about 12 years old. It's the last time I played it and really watched it. So I don't know any of these teams. I don't know any of the players on these teams outside of like the big name guys that play in the World Cup. And I don't know if they even play Premier League. So we shall see. But if we want to look real quick, we still got 5 people here. We're going to get started. We're just going to go alphabetically through the Premier League, starting with Arsenal, and we'll end with Wolverhampton. And there's 20 different teams that are in this, and there are 6 players per team at different positions. And actually, the draft kind of worked out well because we don't have a single team with multiple people playing the same position. So that works out well. We don't have to worry about Mike in your Atlanta Hawks situation where you had 85 guards being drafted to your team. Here we've got a goalie, a striker, and then you might have 2 wings, 2 fullbacks because there's multiple positions. That way you can do multiple different people playing the same position, but space them out so they both start. So it makes sense. And we'll get to all of that here in just a second. But we're going to start with Arsenal. And Tyler and Nick, if you want to talk about Arsenal and what they have, and we can kind of go down from there.
I'm trying to bring it up.
yeah. So
You know any of these cats?
yeah, no, granted. So Arsenal's currently top in the EPL. The only player that I'm seeing that I've used in the past and kept up with is Granit Xhaka as a midfielder. No one on here I really
Odegaard. I think I know him.
Odegaard. I'm not seeing. I'm used to Arsenal with the Pierre Aubameyang and Ozil, but I mean,
Yeah, these are a bunch of.
These are some new cats that seem to be, get the job done.
That man looked 12.
Yeah.
Yo,
Saka, he looked 12, but
he might be. You never know.
Yeah, he looked young.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, they got Jesus from Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
One of the cool things about what we're doing too is that we're not taking away any of the stars that are on these teams. We're just found them with our guys. So none of the people that currently play for them are going to be leaving their team. So you'll get all the good players will still be there. You just might switch spots with them. So that's kind of cool. It's a little bit different than what we normally do in some of our other content. It's more like NHL, where the stars are still on the teams and we're playing around them.
So these lower teams will probably be good now that they ain't got the crappy players, You
would hope. That is the hope. When we add ourselves to this, you hope that they get better. Unless they're like the Los Angeles Lakers and the NBA content, they're just plain awful for some reason, and I don't get it. But whatever. Or as Peyton Plummer likes to say, his player is ass. So it's the one thing I hate hearing more than anything is my player's ass. Well, yeah, he kind of is, but golf's different. But should we go through their team assignments for Arsenal now?
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that. So we're going to go goalie, striker, and then the other 4 players at different positions. So I don't know what name he's going to go by in our content because he always changes his name to something else. But Sam Pittman is the goalie for Arsenal, and he'll probably go by Samuel Thomas in content. I haven't created him yet, so I have to add that's what he normally chooses for content. So Sam Pittman will be the goalie at Arsenal. The striker will be Owen Rice, who is the son of my coworker at Panasonic, Matt, who you'll find later here in the draft. He is a big soccer guy. His son's a big soccer player, so he wanted to make sure that he added him to our content. So he's going to be the striker for Arsenal. And if I want, you guys can talk about this a little bit too. There's different positions, and I'm not accustomed to the names of those. So if you see something with a cam, what does a cam do? Cam
is a central attacking midfielder. So like if you know Manchester, Manchester City, like Kevin De Bruyne, Marco Reus, just some of the few cams that they're not full strikers, but they will push if they need to. They're not.
Gotcha. So they play behind the top line, right? Like behind the first line of guys, it's like strikers and then wings, and then it's behind them is the cam, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm learning a little bit as we go through this.
There's all types of formations.
So the cam for Arsenal. Okay. And then the one thing too is if you guys want to change formations for your teams, we can do that. If it makes sense to play certain different positions that utilize your skill set and your players more than what is standard, we can change that up. That's not a problem at all. So we'll do that to make sure that we're getting the best out of our guys. And I'll leave that to some of you guys who know a little bit more. I know, Tyler, you mentioned that you wanted to change your team in the format of how that team played. So
Italy 2.0. All defense.
Yeah. There you go. So we will get there. We'll get there. So at cam for Arsenal is going to be Andrew Linton. He's one of our new guys on Discord. So he will play at the cam position. Center back is more along the lines of a fullback, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have a right back and a left back. And then you have 2 CBs depending on the formations.
Basically safeties. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I like the football references. I can equate to that.
The right and the left backs will be like the cornerbacks, and then the safeties are the center backs. So if somebody had like a 5-2-1 or something formation, they got a lot of defense players. So
Gotcha. And Peyton she said, "I'm sorry, Chad, on on a text to me. So he always says his player's ass, and I always give him shit about it. So it's just kind of fun to play with him. Hopefully he likes his player here a little bit more than the one in golf, but we'll see. The center back for Arsenal is going to be Takahashi Norimoto. I believe this is one of Garrett Hart's 85 players that he put into content, I think. So he will be at center back. We'll see how that plays out. What's that?
I don't know who this DNA player is. Beckenbauer?
No idea.
He got me slumped on that one. I never heard that name.
We got a lot of crazy names in here. Like, and most of them are either like, if it's a crazy name, it's usually Garrett. Like, he's got a bunch of them. Mike's guys are all named after his family members. And I think, like, I don't know if there's anybody. And then obviously all of your friends are here, Tyler. So we'll see how it, there's names that I do recognize. Most of the guys in here are going to be our people from either Discord or from Facebook. And then everybody else added some people to get us to 120. So there'll be some fun names as we go through. That's one of the first ones. And I think Kevin Pittman's guy, who we get to at the very end of this, is one of the funniest names in the whole thing.
That's awesome.
So I can't wait to get there. It's going to take us a bit, but we'll get to him. And rounding out Arsenal is going to be left winger Christian Mullins and fullback Aziz Hakimi. So I think that's another one of Garrett's guys. So I think he has two people on Arsenal. So we've got, again, a goalie, a striker. We got a cam, a center back, a left wing, and a fullback. I don't know if it's going to be right or left. It doesn't really say. They can pick, I guess, as we get to that team. We'll figure out which side he wants to play on, if it makes sense. Probably the side of the least rated starter is my guess. That's kind of what I've been doing with some of these. If I create somebody in the left back or the left wing or the right wing is less than the other side, and there's only one of that player that we're adding, I'll replace the less ranked person so that they get a boost at the starting position, if that makes sense. So I think, Arsenal is usually pretty good, aren't they, normally?
Yeah, I mean, they slipped up a couple years ago, but, now they're 5 points ahead of Manchester United. And, I believe it's if you win, you get 3 points, draw is 1, and I think it's like
kind of like hockey.
Kind of hockey.
You lose, you don't get anything. Let's see.
So 0 points for a loss, 1 point for a shootout.
Yes, sir. And today, Man City was playing Tottenham. I was watching it at work a little bit. I went to the bathroom.
Yeah, so that just in case they're watching.
Tottenham was winning 2-0, and then all of a sudden, Manchester City came back and beat them 4-2.
Good Lord.
Soccer's wild, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I wish we had more of those games, man. That's one of the reasons why soccer always bored me, is because all the games would end in 0-0 or 1-0, and you had guys that looked like they got shot by a sniper. So that was the one thing I was watching the World Cup. I'm like, I can't get past this with these guys that just flip around like dead on the field, and I'm like, man, this sucks. I can't watch it.
Man. Let's see.
But other people, and that's why we're so. All right, so we'll move on to Aston Villa.
I forgot they were even on there. Okay, we're good.
Yep.
Let's go. I got a highlight.
Unfortunately, this sheet is not in alphabetical order like mine, so we'll give them a second to catch up with this. But what can you tell us about Aston Villa?
I remember about 10 years ago that they got relegated. I can tell you that.
They recently beat Leeds. They're currently 11th in the Premier League, but as far as players, they have Philip Coutinho. He was on Liverpool, and then he went to Barcelona. Now he's on Aston Villa.
Ashley Young.
Let's see. They also got.
They don't really have that many good players. Is Alex Moreno? Is he from Chile? Nope. Just kidding.
Not a whole lot of standout, players that, I know, they're probably new cats, but Philip Coutinho is one of the
top dogs
that I've seen, and he is.
I'm about to go there.
He plays as a cam at Aston Villa. He's from Brazil.
Nice. So this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting. So, like with some of these guys, obviously, if we get a player at the same position, which Aston Villa is going to have a cam that they got assigned to them, but if it makes more sense to play the person that was assigned at a different position so that guy plays, their star player, then we're going to do that. So some of the guys may shift left or right or back or forward, depending on what makes a better sense for the team. So just because we have a positions assigned to these guys, sometimes you may be switched a little bit
website real quick
to make sense. So we want every team playing at their top potential is I think how we would like to do that. So Aston Villa, Mike's going to be happy about this one. Their goaltender, Lorenzo Axton, that's Mike's son. Mike MacGyver's son will be their goaltender heading into the season, or goalkeeper. I don't know. What's the proper term for soccer?
Goalie, goalkeeper.
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 You never know. Half the time, like I'm just understanding pitch and kit and all the goofy terms that you use and that no one uses. So I'm just trying to get it all down so I don't sound like a moron when I talk. It is what it is. So the striker for Aston Villa is Jonathan Gorski. That's actually Jonathan Gore. His character will be the striker for Aston Villa. Joining him on the front line, there will be Theo Lopez at left wing, Jordan Bryant at right wing. That's one of Philip Streeter's characters. So he is in there at right wing. Then we talked about the cam that was coming to this team. That's Percy Cooper. That's JP Reyna's guy. So he'll be at the cam spot, or he may shift, obviously, if it makes more sense because they have a very good player at that position already. Maybe we move him. We'll see. And then Matthew Heisner at the center back is their sixth player that were added. So again, Lorenzo Axton at goalie, Jonathan Gorski at striker, Theo Lopez and Jordan Bryant at the wing spots, Percy Cooper at the cam spot, and Matthew Heisner at the center back spot.
That's actually pretty solid the way that their team's set up, though, because two of their best players are back, and then you got a cam and a C, two cams and three cams. Oh yeah, they're gonna be solid. Yeah. Just the way that they're laid out on FIFA, and then basically just plug and place now.
No, I just checked it out, and I'm seeing the left back Lucas Digny, or I'm not sure he's French. I'm sure I chopped that last name up, but I do recognize him. He's straight. Sure, that Aston Villa team might get scary.
Man, I guess we're going to roll with it.
Next up is
it starts with a B. That's all I know. B.O.
B.O. Smells like trash. Let me get back to this.
I ain't gonna lie, this was the team I wanted to go to just because.
Bournemouth?
Yeah. Bournemouth, that's what I call. See how we get Chad back in here.
Which division?
17.
Yeah.
Looking up your team?
No, I was looking up that Brentford. Oh no. Sheesh.
Hey, that team.
That's chopped.
So you gotta look at the chat, see if anybody talking to us or not. Because I ain't got no chat.
Let's go Chelsea. No, last dude said was
Shane O'Mac.
Shane's here to finally catch a live stream. Chad's back.
Chad's back. That's what we're talking about. We're cooking now.
We're cooking with some peanut.
Sort of.
You said peanut oil. Blue screen. You muted.
There
You
you
guys
go.
hear me okay now?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you now.
Dude, my computer's just blue screen to death and killed me. So sorry about that.
You gotta pay that Wi-Fi bill.
Technical difficulties.
Hey,
So there we go.
there's only one person to blame. Ian.
There we go.
So next would be like.
Are we back now? Are we alive again?
Yeah, we're good up now.
Live.
Hopefully. Yeah, we're live. At least this number keeps going up.
Hold on. Man, my stuff sucks. Say it again. Ugh. Dude, this is terrible. I blame Ian for this because he's not here. It's all his fault.
That's what I'm saying. I think Ian needs to get relegated to the English league.
Yeah, he needs to go to the EFL.
I'm gonna get relegated. This is terrible, dude. This is terrible. All right, I was just trying to get all my screens back up, and every time it just pauses. It's so dumb. All right, where do we leave off? I didn't even remember now.
Was that one of the B team?
We finished Aston Villa, and then I can't get an ABC order, so I don't know.
Is it Brentford?
Right.
No, it'd be Bournemouth.
Right now,
because O's before R.
Oh.
That's Link County education right there.
I got a college degree.
Yeah, I'll have it here in a second. As long as I don't blue screen of death again tonight. Ridiculous. All right, so I think it was Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Would be next.
Oh, that's a solid cash right there. Let's look up their roster.
I'd never heard of these guys until we did this, so I don't even know anything about them. I've never even heard of them.
Ryan Christie, Chase Christie's cousin.
Naturally, Chase ain't there, I don't think. No. Oh, Jack Stevens, I remember him. He got his own arena up here.
He got ties to Euler.
Man, okay, here we go. I probably should have just used my phone for the videos. It's okay.
So Bournemouth is the 17th in the EPL as of right now.
So there's only up to go.
Yeah, they can only go up. If you go down, you're getting relegated. As far as their players, I think whoever they pick up, they're going to be replacing these guys.
I mean, the best player is a goalkeeper, so.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to the bench then.
Yeah. It's just – there's a bunch of just average –
Average Joes.
If your team consists of pretty much all England players, your team's not that good. So that's pretty much.
I
know that dude.
So
they
they're
got
19th out of 20th too. That's not good.
Dang, he's way down there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's his cousin. That's not even that dude.
That's not the real Dembele.
That's not the good one.
Man.
He just shares a name. Yeah, well, pretty much all these guys have been drafted.
Yeah, everybody's getting drafted. Just going to start.
Oh, I see
Cool.
now.
Cool.
I was wondering why this second row didn't have no position, but I just seen that it says striker at the top. So
yeah. Yeah, so the first two spots on that sheet that I sent you is the goalie and the striker. We had to assign those first because there's only 20 of them. And so we had to limit the number of players so that everybody got one and not more than one. So it wouldn't make sense if you have like 3 goalies on the same team. So that's why we did it that way. And then it worked out well that we didn't really have anybody else that were like playing the same positions. It kind of like perfectly worked out. I didn't have to switch anybody around after the draft was over. So perfect.
You just got to change the formations. Got to make sure everybody can play.
There you go. Luckily, I think it's going to work out where everybody's going to be able to play because I don't think, again, we don't have anybody except for, wings or backs, but you have multiple positions. You have multiple wings, you have multiple backs, so everybody can still play. We have nobody playing the same exact position. So
yeah, you can adjust it to where you can have 3 cams on the same team. So
nice.
like same lineup. So it'll work out.
Well, it gives us some flexibility as we go through this. So if people get traded or whatever it is, I don't even know. They don't even do trades in soccer, do they?
They loan. They do loans.
Yeah, they'll loan.
So like you can go play for
I think Gareth
Cincinnati or something.
Gareth Bell's on loan from Tottenham for LA Galaxy.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. I did.
And then what do they call it when they don't call them free agents? They call it something else.
Transfer market.
Transfer. Okay.
Yeah. You got like a certain amount of money you can spend in transfer market.
Gotcha.
Not on my FIFA. I'll be turn that off.
If we ever get this content big enough, like, and we start other leagues, we could do that, between leagues and stuff. It'd be kind of fun.
Don't do Serie A yet because they got half their teams they're not on the game for some reason.
Which league?
Italy, Serie A.
Really?
My favorite teams they have Roma, and they're not even on the game. They're Roma FC. So it's
that's right. That's right. I heard that.
Juventus ain't even on the game. I think they're Piedmont. Yeah, that's some weird name.
Yeah, there were two of the big name teams that I heard that were not in the game. They were like named something generic, but probably the next one that we would end up doing because everybody wanted to do it was MLS, even though hopefully the game allows you to do an MLS season because you told me it would only allow 20 teams. But is that right, or could we do that?
No, you can do the MLS for the season or whatever.
Okay.
Because I realized that after I started messing around, I was like, "Oh, you can create your own, or you can just take over one league." So,
oh, cool. Then we have plenty of options, hopefully, because the last year's game sucked. I was very upset by that.
Yeah, we went.
Maybe we just missed it. I did all this work. I created like everybody, and then was like, "Oh, this sucks. I can't do it." So I had to like scrap all of it, and then a year later, we got it done. So. Gotta love it. All right, so let's go through Bournemouth. So we know that all these guys are taking over positions that some scrubs are basically playing, I think is what we figured out. So except for the goaltender, but the goalie for our purposes is going to be Clint Powell. He will be the goalie. The striker will be Patrick Bennett. The center back will be Jeff Allison. Now, what is the difference between a CM and a CAM? Is like center midfielder and then center attacking midfielder? Is that it, right?
Yeah, they move up more, so they're more scores, so to say.
The center mid guys are, or the cams are?
The cams.
Okay. So Stuart Bowen is listed as a center midfielder. So he is on that list as their 4th player. Their 5th player is another one of Mike's guys, James MacGyver. He will play at the left wing spot. And then CJ Jenkins is in at the cam spot. So again, Clint Powell is your goalie, Patrick Beck striker, Jeff Allison a center back, Stuart Bowen a center mid, James MacGyver a left wing, and CJ Jenkins is your cam. So I don't know how that plays out. Obviously, they're getting better.
So that works out. Let's see.
And now we get to Brentford. And this is going to make, obviously for one of the guys here on the podcast tonight, this is where he's going to find his home. And I know, Nick, you're not happy about that.
I'm taking over as soon as I get there. We got some trash.
Who's on their team? Oh, this is probably one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
David Raya, the 3rd string backup for Spain.
Their second best player. is a goalkeeper. The third best player is a goalkeeper, and they're not. No.
No, but in real life, we're 8th in the EPL.
I don't know how.
Yeah, no, we're overall rated 75.
Yeah, so this team is
Trash.
going from the bottom to probably the third bottom.
Yeah, we're getting relegated first season. I'm sorry to say, whoever's with me there.
Oh yeah, that's the same dude.
They got Aaron Hickey ×2.
Yeah,
well, at least Peyton Plummer's not on the team because I don't want to hear him say his player's ass or his team's ass. So hopefully he'll like where he goes. But Nick, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with this.
I'm going to make the best of it. Hopefully we don't get relegated, but
can you do that in this game? Is there relegation in this game?
Yeah. After the first season, it'll be the bottom 3 get relegated. So then the EFL?
The EFL, it's either the top 1 or
I think it's 2
will go up to the EPL.
And then the one that's below them moves up too, I think.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's cool. I wish the NBA or something had that type of system because it's nice to see.
Trade with the G League. That'd be interesting.
My favorite team was Hull City from the Premier League. They lasted like 2 years, and they haven't been back. So I don't have a favorite Premier team.
So what team did Ryan Reynolds buy?
Was that I remember seeing it on Hulu.
Yeah, there's that whole show. Like he bought a team, but it's not part of the EPL. It's part of like the lower groups, right?
Wrexham.
Yeah, Wrexham. That's right. Yeah, because they're not. I don't see them on here, so I figured they were like somewhere in that lower tier.
EFL 2, I think.
Okay. That's cool, man. Like I didn't know you could relegate, so that's going to be fun for next year too.
Oh yeah, we got to have some more. Once it ends, we got to have another draft for the teams that are coming up.
Oh, absolutely. And then, again, that opens up a lot of doors for us and stuff like that. Maybe we could do 2 different leagues at the same time or something like that, so you can see guys that were progressing upwards. Who knows? Mike, I'm sure Mike and Garrett can create another 180 players. So. Yeah, Mike's got kids he doesn't know about. Maybe who knows that can take spots. But, all right, so we know Nick's on this team. So Nick is actually going to be the cam for Brentford,
sir.
So joining you on this team, Alex Carrick is the goalie, and if we know anything about Alex in content, is that wherever he goes, heartache usually follows. So I know his Denver Broncos right now they're in the divisional round of the NFL content. So we know that they're probably losing this week because that's just what happens. Wherever he trades himself or wherever he goes, they end up losing. So I don't know if that's something you can kick him out of, Nick.
Can I drop him? Relegate him?
We're going to go ahead and relegate Alex right now to get him off now.
Alex is a dog.
Hey, 2 of your best players are goalkeepers, so he might not
keep that in mind.
3 of the best players. And 2, I'll be posting some of these players as I create them because now that we're going through the draft, I'll actually be creating some of these guys and getting them posted up on Discord and on the Facebook page. So you get to see your guys here pretty soon. I've got 1 full team that's already done. I've got the goalkeepers for like half dozen others that are finished. Then I'll be getting everybody else in here because I want to start content probably late next month, a week after college baseball starts, so to get everything kind of running smoothly. So content creation is going to be going crazy here in the next couple of weeks. So as is my work travel. So it's going to be a lot of fun when I'm not home to do all this stuff. So we'll see how that's going to work out. But I got all weekend to put towards it, so I'll start getting that done. But I'll post some of these guys. Like Alex is done. So we'll get him posted up here probably tonight after the draft so he can see himself. But joining Alex and Nick on Brentford will be Preston Gossett, who will be the striker.
Dog.
So if you know anything about Preston, though, Preston's guys always play well in content. So maybe there's your yin and yang. You have Alex taking you down, and you got Preston bringing you up. And Nick, since you're new, you have no track record, so you can just blow up if you want to. So you're like the next big thing. You're like Brock Lesnar.
Let's go. Hopefully I don't tear my ACL.
Hey,
Well, don't say that because I did that getting on a plane. Like I have the dumbest excuses for injuries ever. So yeah, don't get hurt. That's not good. So joining you guys, we got Alex at goalie, Preston at striker. We know Nick is the cam, the center, I guess defensive midfielder, CDM. I'm assuming Pablo Sanchez. I think that's another one of Garrett's guys. Will be on the team, and then rounding it out is my dog Keegan. He's your left winger. He's really fast, but he's got 4 legs, so he can kick. So maybe that's a good thing.
This is definitely not a defensive team. So
yeah, we're getting goals.
They got to score 10 goals to win. That's what I'm saying. Because they have no backs. They did not.
Alex will be like Spider-Man back there. He'll be like knocking everything down in the net.
Man, let's see. Brighton's next. I gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have looked up how to sort all this.
Brighton is third. Brighton is 7 in the EPL, and as far as their players, not much different than
Left mid, left back, center back. They're pretty much a defensive team. Looking at
opposite of my team.
Yeah, pretty much. Naturally, yeah.
Overall,
your team's like one of the only ones that doesn't have like a back. Like they're all forward players.
Pablo's a CDM. We're not letting the ball go past midfield.
Yeah, we gotta look those some formations with no backs.
Yeah, that's never good. Like sometimes it happens that way. Like I'm looking because we had a lot of fullbacks surprisingly. Either center backs or left or right backs that were in this. So like it's hard to see like a team. And I think there's only one other that I can see just scrolling down the list that doesn't have a back at all. Everybody else seems to have one. Well, there's 2 teams it looks like. That we'll get to at the end of the draft. So. Yeah, so you guys are going to have to push the ball down the field and keep it there.
So y'all will need to run. Let's look at this real quick. Definitely need to get away from the 5s and 4s. Since y'all have no backs, 3-5-2 is probably y'all's safest bet. Because then you could put Keegan as another striker. Yeah, that's what I need to. I'm going to screenshot that. And that's what y'all gonna have to run.
Yeah, we're putting goalies out there.
You can put the 2 other goalies at back.
Yep.
Yeah, it might work out. It's a bold strategy.
They might even let them use their hands too. Who knows?
That'd be nice.
You already looked up Brighton's team, though.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Moving on to Brighton. She said they're 7th currently in the EPL.
Yes,
sir.
Oh yeah, they're pretty much
the opposite of my team.
Defense and mids. That's it. Let's see who they drafted.
Overall 76. Yeah, they got a better defense than Brentford.
You figure if they're top 10, like 7th out of 20, you figure that they can play pretty well if they need to.
I don't know. We got Alex. Alex is, from first impression, Alex is not giving me good vibes.
This is the locker room right now.
Come on, man.
It's always funny though. Like, I don't know if this is like a slider set that needs to change or something like that. But at least on the hockey side, these goalies give up way too many goals. So I don't know if that translates to the same thing in soccer.
Yeah, I seen there's like 9-0 matches on that World Cup tournament or whatever.
That's crazy.
I'm like, everything's a blowout.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like in some of these games, like with some of the Kazakhstan was like their guys were rated like 50s and 60s, so they had no defense, and like Canada was just like massacring them. But then you had other teams that were like losing like 7-6, and so I'm like, good Lord, look like an all-star game.
Man, I'm telling you.
So I'm hoping that we can see some like normal soccer scores, because I know we're adding some guys that are pretty like steroided out, basically. We're based on legends and stuff like that, and you're gonna have like 6 or 7 of them running around the field together. So hopefully the goalies can stop some shots and not like lose like 16-2 or something stupid.
Let's see. The next team is going to be pretty good, mate.
Oh yeah, I only know one person on the next team.
Chelsea?
Did we already go through their roster who they drafted?
We have not gone through Brighton yet, so let's do that. So at the goalkeeper position, we'll see Cade Kaiser. Cade will be the goalie. Drake Williams, he is a ardent soccer fan from Nashville. He is taking over at striker. We will have Shane Shoemaker at the CDM spot. Eliana Crosby is your center mid. Chase Barnhart is at right wing, and Benjamin Pardova is at one of the back spots. So again, Cade Kaiser, goalie, Drake Williams, striker, Shane Shoemaker, CDM, Eliana Crosby, center mid, Chase Barnhart, right wing, and Benjamin Pardova at the back spot. So
That's not bad.
should be pretty good. And and the funny part is, like, some of these guys, when they were picking, and we'll get to one of them in a second, I don't think they took, like, a lot of these guys don't take into account when they're picking DNAs that you have legends available to you and you have current players available to you. So, like, somebody picks, like, I want to be this guy, and it's like some dude that's like rated 74. And then you're like scratching your head going, what the hell are you thinking?
Yeah.
It's like you got all these guys in the baseball stuff, and they pick their DNA, and they pick guys from today that have, like, Ohtani is one of the guys. And I mentioned this on my podcast the other week. Like, people that pick Shohei Ohtani, it's like he's really good in reality, but he sucks, like, ratings-wise in the games because he's like a 250 hitter. So you're going to struggle to hit the ball, but you might hit with power, but you're not going to be Babe Ruth. You're not going to be Mickey Mantle. You're not going to be guys that hit like 350 with 50 home runs. You're going to be that 250 guy who occasionally hits one. So it's just really weird when people get to pick their DNAs, what they actually choose. It cracks me up sometimes. We'll get to one of those guys in a minute. So, but we'll move on to Chelsea, who I know is one of the better teams in the Premier League. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, they're like an all-star team.
Yeah.
Conte,
Solid.
Thiago Silva, I remember him from PSG. Raheem Sterling, I remember him from Man City. You got Pierre Aubameyang. He was also on Borussia Dortmund and Man City. Yep.
And I like them Italians.
Jorginho and Mateo Kovacic was on Real Madrid when Ronaldo, Bale, and Benzema were all there together. Yeah. They also got Christian Pulisic.
The Captain America, right?
Sir.
Yeah, this team is loaded.
That team is Chelsea. If anyone is scamming Chelsea, I mean, you can reach out, and I'll be willing to give up my Brentford jersey.
He said, "I'm already asking for a loan. Come on now."
So in other words, like whoever lands on Chelsea is going to be very happy about their draft pick, I guess.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
But Chelsea is currently 10th in the EPL.
Wow.
2 behind Brentford. So we up.
So Brentford's actually in the top 10?
Yeah, Brentford's 8.
There you go. See, look at you. You're better than Chelsea, but you're complaining.
I mean, they have more draws than they have wins. That's the wild thing about soccer.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the most amount of wins, just don't have the most amount of losses.
Just get points.
Actually, that's a lot. Newcastle is 4th, and they have 1 loss. They just have 8 draws and 10 wins.
That's crazy.
Like,
soccer
is
when
soccer.
you go by the point system, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, soccer's point system's wild. Like, you don't have to win the most. Just you just got to make it more even.
Yep. Just get a point. Get a point in advance. So obviously, if we're adding all-stars to already an all-star team, so this could be one of the teams that we look at to say, they've got a leg up on everybody else. Like, outside of Chelsea, who else? Like, obviously, Man U is a big one. Is Man City a big one too?
Man City for sure. I think they're the top. It's my favorite team to use on FIFA for EPL. I just don't like Arsenal. Since Arsene Wenger left, I just don't like them. Holland, you got Holland, you got De Bruyne. I don't even know who else is on Man City.
I don't think Suarez. No, Suarez. He's been gone. I think
Suarez is on Atletico, I think.
Oh yeah, you're right. Let's see.
So we'll get to Man City in a little bit, but like Chelsea, Man City, Man U. Those are the teams that I know, and obviously Arsenal, the teams that some of the people that don't follow soccer, they'll hear that name and they'll know that name.
Like him and all them.
Yeah, Tottenham and Leicester City used to be pretty decent back in the day, but
Liverpool. That's a hot known one.
They fell off.
Who's leading the EPL right now?
Who's leading? Arsenal. They have 47. Man City's has 42. They're 5 points behind them.
Wow.
Arsenal's won 15, draw 2, and only lost 1 game.
So it should be pretty interesting to see how our players mesh in there with some of these guys. Especially when like we're talking Chelsea right now, when you add in like 6 all-stars to an already big all-star team, like who sits and who doesn't play. That's going to be the fun part. Like, you're trying to mix and match guys that are probably 80 ranked at least, 80 overalls and stuff like that for the most part.
Well, that's the good thing about soccer, though. You don't have to start. Like, you can start half the games and it'd be normal. Because most people, like Ronaldo, he don't even start. He comes out off the bench in the second half. So
really,
yeah. I guess he's trying
to slap on myself.
Yep, that's where
they screwed themselves up leaving Ronaldo on the bench. Like, the new guy scored a hat trick in his first game, but you don't sit Ronaldo. He's just Ronaldo.
Right. You would think, right? But I mean, he is getting older, so maybe it's sound strategy to save his legs as long as you can.
Hey, he's playing in where is he at?
Al Nassr.
Al Nassr.
He's in Qatar.
Oh yeah,
I thought he was going to come to MLS.
That's like LeBron going to not the G League, but like your little pickup church league,
But then you got Messi coming to Miami, right?
Not anymore.
Messi, no, he just signed an extension with PSG.
Yeah, he said they never officially offered it to him.
But he bought that house in Miami. I was like, this is going to be awesome.
I was there last year, and there were billboards of him everywhere, and that was the big rumor. Obviously, he's coming to Miami as soon as he gets out of his contract. So that we all thought that was a done deal. And I'm like, okay, you get the biggest name in soccer to come to MLS, it's going to boost the whole league, and it doesn't happen.
If they would have got him and Ronaldo, I think Americans would have got more involved in watching soccer for sure.
Well, I would agree. I mean, you bring, like when Beckham came over, it obviously was a big deal because the biggest name in soccer at the time, or one of them, was playing in America. It was like when Gretzky came to Los Angeles. It boosted hockey in the States to have the best player in the country playing, or best player in the sport playing in the country instead of playing in Edmonton. So, oh well, there'll be somebody else maybe. Who knows? At some point, MLS is going to get somebody big.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of our players. We'll just do that.
Wasn't it Zlatan?
Zlatan,
he was on a Galaxy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody even him, like it would have to be like a Messi, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, somebody like that. That like it's like massively known to anybody who watches sports. Like I'd never heard of the other guy you just mentioned.
Neymar's going to come to Cincinnati for you then.
There you go. We'll take that.
I mean, he's only 25 now. It'll probably be about 10, 15 years.
You probably. We'll probably get it'll be like signing like old Willie Mays when he played for the Mets for 1 year. It's like, yeah, we got Neymar. He's like 102. You really him out there.
And he's still the best.
Well, let's go through Chelsea real quick so we keep it moving. The goalie for Chelsea is going to be Steve Waterhouse. Steve's one of my old friends from Cincinnati. So he will man the goal for Chelsea. At striker is Anthony Sylvia. He will be there. Maxo Donald, which is Travian Donald's guy. He'll be at the left wing spot. At the right wing spot is Jason Famnowitz. So he'll be at the wing spot with Maxo. And then the cam spot, which we mentioned, if anybody wanted to trade with Nick, that would be Caleb Ward. He is the cam for Chelsea.
Caleb, get at me.
Center back. And then at the center back spot, it's going to be James White. He will be the lone defender on that group.
Man.
So not too bad. Maxo in his golden shoes will be running around for Chelsea. So look forward to seeing that on his uniform. I know they're not called uniform. I'm going to call them uniforms because I'm American. So I'm an idiot. Yeah, I know. And they're called boots and not shoes. And it's kids. And it's whatever. I'm not English. I speak American. So it is what it is. So we'll go from Chelsea to Crystal Palace. And I know we were talking about these guys before we went live. Crystal Palace came to Cincinnati one time to play FC Cincinnati. And it was a big deal that we got a Premier League team to come over. And I knew nothing about them. I think is their logo like an eagle or something?
Yeah.
See, I remember things. There you go. So what can you tell us about Crystal Palace?
They're currently 12th in the EPL, and as far as the players
are pretty much average, you know.
Only know one, Jordan Ayew from Ghana.
Oh, is he old? Oh, I don't even have his age. I was like, he looks like he's about 40.
It looks like he's like pushing.
See if I know any of these cats.
Looks like Otis Nixon.
Let's go. No, I don't know none of these dudes. Yeah,
so suffice to say, it's probably all these guys are going to come in and make the team better by their arrival. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, this
left wing corner, the CDM. They got some midfielders. And that works out.
I got one left wing he's 82 overall, Wilfred Zaha, but I really never heard much about him.
His name's Wilfred. He's pretty good.
Ivory Coast.
If his name's Wilfred, you know he's good.
Yeah, he looks like driver.
Yeah.
All right, so
so pretty much everybody that gets drafted they're probably gonna start.
Well, the good news is if their best player is a left winger, they're not picking up a left winger. They're actually picking up a right winger. So that kind of makes sense. He's going to stay on the field at his normal position, which is good.
Oh, yeah.
So let's run through these guys real quick. And I mentioned before, that, when you're picking DNAs, you probably want to pick somebody that's better than crap or whatever. Casey Washington picked a goaltender who was like a 76 overall. And I was like, what are you like? Do I change it? But no, like you picked it, so I'm going to leave it. So he's the goaltender, and he will start. Like all of our guys are going to start. So I think they're actually getting worse at goaltender.
Yeah, because
bringing Casey in.
They got a dude from Spain. He's like Gaida. I don't know. Hey, more power to him.
Yeah, like I said, like you have nobody to blame in this but yourselves when you pick your DNA. So and I know like some DNAs go off the board and you're like, crap, who do I pick? Like if you just would have said like next best available, I would have found a legend to take the spot. But it is what it is. And Casey's the starting goaltender, so hopefully he plays above his rating. And
I don't even remember who I picked from
Ronaldo.
Nah, I think I know when like I picked baseball, I picked like Jonathan India, and I was like left field. He's like, you gotta be the same person, you can't pick no shortstop in your left field.
Right. So you picked a dude's name is like Royce, Reus, R-E-U-S.
He was on FIFA 17 for
Borussia.
Yep, Dortmund. What a team. I used to hate them.
Yeah, I'm probably.
Yeah, so like again, if your guy's ass, then you have no one to blame but yourself.
You got Everton. Everton's next. Man.
Well, hold on, we got to get through the rest of the team here real quick. Striker is going to be Jake Charisma. We got two backs on this team. So Bob Stewart, my dad, is one of the backs, and then Mason Barnhart, the son of Travis, is going to be the other back on that team. So they got two backs, which means their defense should be pretty good. Their cam is Corey Brown, and their right winger is Steven Santos. So they should be pretty good as well. I think, at least from balance standpoint, they got a pretty balanced team, and from what they're picking up across the board. So we'll move from Crystal Palace to Everton. We'll see how these guys play out.
Everton is
they way down there. 19. They're on the verge of getting relegated.
Let's hope we can change that then.
As far as their players,
which is wild because Everton when I was growing up was good because they had Tim Howard.
Yeah.
Now they're just
they have a couple above 80 overalls. You know, they have a CB. He's 80. They have a CDM that's 80, or two CDMs that's one's 80, one's 82, and a goal kick that's 82. Other than that, it's all like 79 and below.
They're a big defensive team.
But yeah, they got a bunch of defensive cats.
See what their draft look like.
And they're only getting one defensive player, and the rest of them are going to be, looks like, offensive. So maybe that's going to help them.
Big pickup for them.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy how it works out that way sometimes, because none of this, I didn't look at any ratings. I didn't assign people based on that at all. It was, again, random draw on the spinning wheel. And so far,
that's what you say. You didn't cheat like Ian.
No, I didn't cheat like Ian. Like, if you would have seen who Ian got for his DNA at the end of the basketball draft, you'd be like, bro, seriously, like, how is that guy left? But whatever. But like Ian didn't go to Denver though, so I was expecting like the frozen envelope to pull Ian to Denver, and he didn't. He went to the Clippers, so at least that happened. But like his DNA was like, seriously, the next to the last guy drafted, and you got that guy. So
I got drafted by you got either a black jersey or a white jersey, so I can't.
Right.
I'm a colorful guy. I like my jerseys. I like to look good, but NBA, I'm basic Betty out there.
You're like the Raiders. You get like one color. It's black or whatever. I think they have a silver jersey too, which I haven't put them in yet. I don't know. I streamed your game today, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. You guys won.
Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Your center scored like 46 points and had 25 rebounds.
Oh, dang. Must have been playing school.
Nick, your team won today too, actually.
My team?
Yeah, you streamed today too. The Golden State Warriors beat somebody. Who did Boston? So
go.
Look at you guys. Both of you are winners today. A winner is you.
Except you got to.
Oh, yeah, I got Brentford.
Yeah, and then you got Brentford. So it all evens out. So if we're looking at Everton, and you said that they're mostly a defensive team and they're going to be getting offensive players. Let's look at who they got. So at their goaltender spot, they got Chris Slovic. This dude, if you follow him on Facebook, it's pretty cool. He goes he's all over the place. He's been in like Afghanistan and like some crazy Asian countries. He's overseas right now, and hopefully he's watching. But it's kind of fun. It's like, where in the world is Chris Slovic? So it's pretty neat to see where he goes and stuff like that. But he's going to be the goaltender. Aaron Olmos, who has some of the most interesting names in our college content. If you look at the guys for like Washington in our college content, they're all his guys. Like a dude named Ho Ho and Pong Po, and there's like crazy names like Maxifissum. It's just weird. But in here, he's just got the one guy. He's just Aaron Olmos. So he's the striker. We got Braden Honeysuckle as the cam. We have Mateo Rice, which is actually Matt, who is my coworker. He's going to be the left wing. The right winger is newcomer Michael Wilson, and the one of the backs is going to be Logan Jones. So again, they went mostly offense, which according to what you guys said is going to balance them out pretty well.
Oh yeah.
So happy about that. So we'll move from Everton over to Fulham. What can you tell us about Fulham?
Fulham is 6th in the EPL at the moment.
What the heck?
Right behind Tottenham. As far as their players, only one I'm noticing is Andreas Pereira, the cam from Brazil.
Vinicius.
That's not the right one.
Oh.
I think the other one's like Vinicius
yeah.
Jr.
You're right. You're right. Never mind.
Uh,
Abort that. 76 overall.
But Pierre, he scored that. I want to say it was against Croatia, or right before. I think it was Croatia. Pierre had a nice goal. Other than that, I don't really see hardly anybody. It looks like they're more of a
they're solid on defense.
Yeah.
What's their rating on defense? Oh, never mind. I guess I'm looking at it wrong. There must be them bench warmers that are offsetting it.
Well, it looks like their draft is mostly going to be defensive players. So if their defense is terrible, maybe this is going to help them.
They're going to run like a 5-3-2 defense or something because they got a lot of backs. They're going to park the bus, It's my favorite thing. Park the bus.
Well, they should have a decent goalie. Oliver Kahn is the guy that Peyton Plummer picked for his goalie. He's going to be the goalie for Fulham. He's one of the better goalies in the history of soccer, right?
You said who?
Oliver Kahn.
Kahn, the goalie.
Wasn't he from Germany or something?
Oh yeah, my bad. He's an older player. I thought he was now. He's who Manuel Neuer looks up to. He wants to be Germany to think of him like Kahn, I guess.
Nice.
Neuer's a stout goalie, but Bayern just can't do nothing in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
Then Peyton, hopefully your player then this time is not ass, since he's based on a very good player. So he's going to man the goal for Fulham. And then one of the fun names that we got is striker Babatunde. I forget whose guy that is. Let me look and see. Babatunde. Who is that? Do I have it? Matthew Heisner. It's one of Matthew Heisner. So he created two people.
Yeah, because I had him on there, and then he came in and added Babatunde. So, yeah.
So that's probably the second best name of anybody. We haven't gotten to Kevin Pittman's guy yet, but I would give Babatunde maybe.
I wasn't expecting him to come out with that one.
No. When he set that name over, I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I feel racist for even saying it, but
especially from Nigeria. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know. But Kevin's black, so he's allowed to do that. It is what it is. But it's you got to be kidding me. I'm going to have to say this name. But we'll get to him in a little bit. So I got some buffer between now and then. But joining Babatunde and Peyton Plummer on Fulham will be Sid Branch at center back, Michael Fisher, one of my old friends, at one of the back spots as well. Yet Chris Rivas at right wing and Andrei Petrikov at the CDM spot.
I like that.
So Andrei Petrikov who's that guy? It's Garrett. Of course, it's Garrett Hartz. Garrett's got all guys that are ethnically named. If you see him names in here, Aziz Hakimi, and I think we got a couple of Japanese players, a Korean. It's all Garrett's guys. He's very multicultural. So that's what their team looks like. So again, like you said, that they're kind of maybe lacking a little bit on the defensive side. Maybe they've got some good defensive guys coming in there that should shore them up. And then we'll move to Leeds United as our next team.
Leeds United is,
let's see,
relegated.
14th in the EPL. Let me see the players.
Hey, you want to know something? Let me show you a trick. In order to switch teams, just go right here and then right there. And you just pick a team.
Oh, I got you. Bad.
So you ain't got to keep
searching that.
But now you got to search for it. Okay, who they got? Left wing. They're a little bit mixed. I don't really have nobody else now.
I mean, they got one left
Tyler
wing.
Adams. You remember? Have you seen the clip about who was it? Iran?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy. He's on this team. He's a senior, so
from a USA.
That works out.
There we go.
Rodrigo. Is that the same Robin coach that I'm thinking of? Yep. Yeah, I know a couple of people on this team. It's weird to know these guys, but
yeah, man.
This is another team. When I saw the name, I'm like, I know nothing of this team. Like, I've never heard of them, never seen them. So,
yeah, they're basic. They're not really a team you would go to specifically pick on FIFA, because you would probably go to a different, like a lower team, like Brentford.
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 Right.
I got a feeling Brentford's going to be like our running joke through the rest of the season.
It is. I'm about to add Brentford in my bio.
And dude say he's going to play FIFA later or just be Brentford.
Nick's actually going to go buy a jersey after this. He's immediately going to hit up wherever and buy himself a Brentford jersey.
Got to
put 7, put my name on the back.
Yeah. Like, I'm legit thinking about getting my own jersey. Like, I end up doing this every single time. Like, whatever team I end up on, I have to buy the jersey. So I've got like an old New York Islanders jersey from one season I played when I was like 22 years old. This was like, 25 years ago. And I was like, oh, like they have sweet jerseys. I'm going to buy it. So I have my own jersey for the friggin' Islanders in my closet. I haven't worn it in like 20 years.
Or somewhere.
Yeah. And what you don't see back here is my Raptors jersey that I bought when I got drafted by the Raptors, because I said I'd buy whoever I landed on, and was hoping it would be like somebody really good, and I ended up with the Raptors. So,
did you get the red and white? That's what it was?
I got the red one.
Oh, okay.
It actually looks pretty cool. I'm not upset by it. So
you don't want the gold one?
No.
Drake special?
I saw it. I was like, maybe. Nah. I don't know.
Don't know how that would turn out, look on the wall and everything.
Like, my body type doesn't wear basketball jerseys very well to begin with. So I look like
a soccer jersey. I don't think they make them 2XL.
No.
Yeah, probably. They need to make them 3XL for me to put my fat ass in one. So fat guy in a little coat, basically. Or fat guy in a little kit, I guess I have to say. I got to get used to saying it. So whatever.
Tommy boy.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta buy 2 of them.
Out of that shit. We'll bust out of it. That would like be my thing though. Like that, me putting on a soccer jersey, I would end up ripping out of it because like instead of the Incredible Hulk, it would just be like fat guy in a little coat. So,
and those soccer jerseys are like they're tight fitting, so it might just hold you in there. It might not.
Man, there's a lot to hold in. I'm just gonna say that. Like, I don't know.
Something pops, gravy's coming out for me.
Man.
You gotta love it. All right, well, let's get through leads so we can keep going. We still got like half the field to go. Another one of the fun names from Garrett, Dojgada Djokovic is the goalie, and his name, like he first put him in my college basketball content. Now he's here in soccer. So Dojgada Djokovic. I don't even know if that's right. It looks like I'm just pronouncing it like it looks, and then the last name is right because the tennis player has the same name. So he's the goalie. Kevin Jenkins is the striker. Antoine Fennell is your cam. Hank Honeysuckle is all right. So what is CF? Center forward?
Center fielder. It's like it's almost like a striker, but
they're a little bit in between cams and strikers. So you could it's like a weird
like Kareem Benzema is a CF.
Lewandowski. It's just a way to adjust your formation.
Yeah, different
much.
formations. Like you have strikers or right wing, left wing.
Because there weren't too many of those. I think as far as like the people that picked CF, there were only 2. And then Tyler, I think that's because you picked them. So
yeah, Tony picked one, so I was like, I guess I'll do it. So he's not the only one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Tony did pick one. So we'll get to him in a little bit, but. Yeah, so Hank is the center fielder. Philip Streeter is the left wing, and JD Famnowitz is the center mid. So there's no defense on that team.
Good luck to you, Leeds.
It should be a fun game when they play Brentford.
Oh my gosh, I'm not watching it. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the very first stream. I'm streaming Brentford's first game now. It's going to be the very first game.
Tag me in it.
Is it Brentford against Chelsea? That's going to be the first one. Brentford,
gosh.
Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea, Brentford, first game of the year. I don't know. I haven't even looked at the schedule. I haven't set it up yet, so I have no idea who's playing who first. But Brentford's going to be streamed very early on just for that.
Matches. So let's see who their first matchup is against. Leeds. They're playing Leeds. That's the first match.
Is it really?
Leeds.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's gonna work out.
That'll be our kickoff show right there. Those two teams.
Naturally, Brentford won.
If we win, I'll do the C celebration and post it in the group chat.
There you go. Yeah. All right. So how do you pronounce? Is it Leicester City?
Leicester. Man, everybody jumped on this bandwagon 10 years ago, and Leicester. Oh man,
Leicester.
I don't know.
We'll just call it La City.
Since we're live, it's messing me up. Lawson City, phone call. Jamie Vardy.
They got the boy Vardy.
Who's that? James Middleton. Madison.
Wilfred. Ndidi.
Another Willie.
Another Wilfred?
Oh, man. Hey, there's another Pierre.
Oh, yeah, Ricardo Pierre. He's that Portuguese.
Hey, this Turkish guy, though.
Kaglar Soyuncu.
Soyuncu.
He looked like he fights. He bites motherfuckers on the field. Suarez.
Oh, he's Turkish.
2014 World Cup. Uruguay versus Colombia.
Hey, he's Turkish. That's a name right there. What do you got?
He looks like one of Garrett's guys.
I wish they had. What happened to James Rodriguez? Dude fell off.
Might have to look that one up. That's a big word for me, man. Let's see.
It was weird because it looks like his name is James.
Where's he at? Oh, he's in Greece. What the heck?
He went from Real to Everton to Greece.
He took that. That's that retirement plan right
there.
He took that L. Go to the roster real quick. See if any of these new people gonna play.
If you got picked by Leicester,
do they have any backs? Okay. Yeah, we can figure it out there.
If you're it looks like they got a straight two good cams, one CM. These are all above 80s.
And then some backs.
Striker and then two backs. The rest is 79, so
we can fill in around some of their better players, hopefully.
Yeah. You can play with the formations and probably figure out the best one. I don't know if
so let's look and see who they got then. So at goaltender will be my grandpa, Virgil Stewart. So he's actually a goalie in the hockey content too. So I made him a goalie here. Might as well keep it,
who's that best goalie?
The same. We got Dennis Cronin, who is the striker. We got two wings coming up with Jimmy Pa Jones and Damo Bunnell, which is actually Damian Holiday's guy. He's been wanting to call his character Damo Bunnell for years. We finally got him in the game. So there's your two wings. My son Peyton is at one of the back spots, and then Garrett Hart is the cam for Lie City. So again, Stewart, Cronin, Jones, Bunnell, Stewart again, and Hart. So there's your 6 guys for Lie City. And now we'll move on to Liverpool.
I forgot about Liverpool. I skipped straight to Manchester City.
Man,
Liverpool.
Allison,
the goalkeeper.
Natural. They got the best goalkeeper. They got
best.
There.
Probably top CB Virgil van Dijk.
Hey, they have.
Oh, they got Robert Firmino.
Hey, they got 20 guys over 80.
So, wow.
Yeah, this squad is stacked.
This is an all-star team right here.
Like, they're only ninth, and right behind Brentford in the EPL.
So they're crap then, right? If they're behind Brentford.
On paper, they're the Golden State Warriors, but in the league, they're like
in real life, they're the Lakers.
The Lakers.
So they got all the talent, but they're not playing to it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's that chemistry. They got Salah, Allison, Van Dijk, Arnold, Thiago, Fabinho. Thiago,
I remember him.
Yeah.
He played at FC Bayern.
Hey, Darwin. If your name's Darwin, you got to be good. He's got long hair. I remember watching him on in the World Cup.
Darwin Núñez.
What a name. Arthur.
Yeah, if your name's Arthur, you should not be starting on any soccer team.
Who they get?
We don't have anybody named Arthur in our content, so it's okay. We're not shaming anybody else.
No, yeah, my bad. If anybody's watching named Arthur, I'm sorry.
I went to school with a guy named Arturo, and he said his English name is Arthur, so I just called him Arthur throughout our elementary through high school. I still call him.
Like, somebody named Arturo could be like Arturo Gatti was one of the best fighters in the world, so I wouldn't mess with a guy named Arturo. I would mess with somebody named Arthur.
Man, I couldn't do it.
Nobody wants to mess with these guys, though. But so one of your friends there, Philip Porcher, he's going to be the goalie. So we got Philip in goal. We got Mike Tomsic at the striker spot. They're going to be joined by Wayne Ewing at one of the back spots. Japid, all right. How do you say? Is it Asidipur?
Javad Asadipur.
Asadipur. There you go. He's the CDM. Kevin Kaz at left wing and Jimmy Archer at the cam spot. So they are a pretty balanced group coming in.
Yeah, that's three of my guys. Not bad.
Yep. And I mean, you got some offense, you got some defense. So you're adding them to an already big team. So we'll see how that plays out for those guys. Somebody's got to sit down, but it won't be any of those 6 people. So all those guys are starting. So Man City up next.
Man City. Oh, yeah.
Stack team.
I'm happy
Kevin De Bruyne at Cam. You got
Holland.
Of course, Holland. He's from Borussia Dortmund. You got Ederson at goalie. There's also the guy who's the backup for Messi at Argentina is the backup for Holland. Alvarez.
Oh, yeah.
Julian Alvarez. Actually, is the backup for De Bruyne.
Who's
they got Gundogan still. He's like 104 years old.
He's out there running around at 104. I'd love to do that.
Oh yeah, he old. He looks old too.
Oh, that's a stout team.
CM, striker, center back, left back, cam. Yeah, they pretty much.
That's all over 85s too. Top 10.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that because when I found out that where I was going was Man City and not Man U, I was like, oh, that sucks. I had no idea Man City was any good, like none whatsoever.
The top dogs.
Well, there we go. Of course, I would go to the top dog. So I'm obviously there. I'm the striker for them. Cody Stone is going to be the goalie. Broderick Wendland is going to be at one of the back spots. Kevin Barr at the center mid spot. Chase Christie at right wing. And Travis Barnhart at the cam spot. And Travis and I are already teammates, like on 3 different teams, which is crazy. So we were teammates in St. Louis in baseball. We're teammates in Jacksonville in football. And now we're teammates here in soccer. So, yay. People are going to think we have like this weird relationship.
Can't stay away from each other.
No, the funny part is, like, I've met two people through this, like, out in the real world, and Travis is one of the two people. I met him in St. Louis when I was there for business. I met Ian when I was in Denver recently for business. And of course, like, if I'm ever down in your neck of the woods, we're definitely going to meet up at some point.
If you're ever in Arkansas just for fun, more power to you.
Like, dude, I'm coming to Little Rock next month.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's right in between me and Nick. So
there you go. We'll have to meet up then.
Got to.
So yeah, I'm trying to hit like everybody. Like if I go to like somebody's city, I'm like, hey, I didn't even realize it. Like I went to a Marshall football game. One of our customers was in Huntington, and he's like, hey, you guys want to go to the game with us? And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So we went to the game. I had two people email me the next day and they're like, dude, why didn't you come see me? Like I had no idea that they were in Huntington. Like one was Anthony Stone and there was another guy. And I was like, I had no idea where you were. No clue. So now I try to make sure that if I'm going somewhere, like I reach out to people that are in that area and say, hey, if you're here, I'd love to catch up with you. So
definitely.
Kind of weird, like how many people like you meet through this stuff. So it's really cool to meet you guys out in the real world. So it's pretty cool stuff. So that's Man City. Hopefully we live up to expectations. We'll see. Now we're getting down to, we only have 7 teams to go, and probably the most well-known team, I guess, in the English Premier League, Manchester United, is up next.
You got a roster?
They're
a third.
The third top best player is Casemiro. Is a central defensive midfielder. He's from Real Madrid. Played with Ronaldo.
Bruno Fernandes. I used to kill with him on the game. I don't know who he used to play for, but I remember Fernandes. Sancho, England.
They got Rafael Varane. He's a French player. I think he played at Real Madrid. De Gea, Rashford.
Yeah, they're pretty much.
There's dogs on that team.
Fred, 5'7", 137 pounds.
Brazilian player.
That's a dog right there.
That's an ankle biter.
That's a chihuahua.
Tiny little man.
Wait, what position is he? Oh, okay. I thought it said back at first. I would say, yeah, you getting scored on every time.
He sounds like a jockey. Like if we ever did like horse racing, he would be one of the jockeys.
Oh, that would be
5'7", 137. That's crazy.
Hey, I'll call Calvin Burrell DNA. That's it. Calvin Burrell right there.
Don't put it past me, man. I'll find a horse racing game. No, I won't.
PS2, PlayStation 2. That's the only one I could find.
Dude, like you told me about the tennis game, and I'm like, please God, don't tell me about any more games. Like I had to cut off high school baseball because I'm like, I just don't have time anymore to add more stuff. Yeah. Like we added soccer, and I had to kill something, and it was high school baseball. So
tennis is where it's at, though. I just watch a dude on tennis. He streams like every single live match. He'll put it on the game and stream it right before it. So if Nadal played Djokovic today, he'll put Nadal versus Djokovic. Or if it's like Nadal versus some random nobody, he'll create that person and then make it. He's been doing it for like 10 years now. I love
stuff like that. I love stuff like that. Well, I mean, that's what we do, right? Except for, and I don't know how many times, and I say it on my podcast a lot, like how many times art imitates life and how things will happen here in this universe that will then bleed over into the next one. And it's crazy how it happens. And it's like, I don't know how many times it wouldn't be like matching up exactly the same, but you would have 7 teams in my top 25 in football that would lose on a given week. And in reality, 7 teams in the top 25 would lose. It's like, am I doing this? Like, is there some like weird connection? So when Brentford wins the Premier League, you can thank me for that because it's going to happen.
If only they had a tournament.
So we're going to run that Brentford joke into the ground, I think. But yeah,
until he gets traded. That's
right. Yeah, until he gets traded to where did he want to go? He wanted to go to Chelsea.
First game.
You're gonna go to like some Turkish team or something.
Yeah, I'm
Or
like
Japan.
Ronaldo or an Al Nassr. I can't even be televised no more.
We're gonna have to like create a whole new league for Nick just so he can get on a team that he wants to be on.
Nottingham. It's not that hard.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll get to them in a second. Maybe you can work a trade. Who knows? But all right. So Manchester United. Here's the 6 guys that got on this team. So I think one of them. I don't know about you. I know you didn't want to be on this team. You wanted Man City, but Tyler, you got Man United instead.
It is what it is. It is
yeah,
what it is.
So I mean, there's worse place. You could be at Brentford.
Hey, I wanted to go to Bournemouth just because I just want to say that name.
So you get a Bournemouth jersey. Like I don't even know what they look like. They're probably pretty cool. I don't know.
I think the red and black.
There you go. Cincinnati colors. I'll take it. Yeah, I got like Man City is like almost like Carolina blue. It looked like.
Yeah, it's like that teal. They got like Etihad or something. I think that's like the best.
Etihad Stadium. I like it. That and Real Madrid's my favorite.
See, I like random teams.
Well, see, I like AC Milan and Barcelona. Like back when Ronaldinho and Kaká and like 2000s era. Right before I got.
You grew up,
yeah. Bet on it back then. I knew a lot more players.
Hey, that's where all my knowledge comes from FIFA games.
Well, I mean, that's how you learn. Like most of my stuff with hockey came from playing NHL '94 and stuff like that. So, which to this day is still one of the best sports games of all time, I think. But just
I play FIFA more than anything. FIFA's my stuff right there. Oh yeah. I park the bus on everybody.
MLB The Show, dude. I live on MLB The Show. Like, if I could create like all 300 some college baseball teams, I would do it. And I actually mapped it out last night. Like, how many more games do I need? How much more room do I need? It was like I needed like three or four more games to do it. So I'm not doing that. So we know that no one wants to play it like Tarleton State. No. So
I mean, if I gotta do what I gotta do, I'll go there.
Play yourself up at that point. All right, well, let's finish off Man United here. We got Eric Larson, who's going to be the goaltender. We have Drake Franco as the striker. Let me look and see who Drake Franco is. Tyson Lefevre. He always has some fun names as well. So Tyson, our resident Canadian, he is going to be their striker. We have Aiden Matthews as the cam. We have Gareth Baelish, who is one of Garrett Hart's guys, obviously. Tyler, we already talked about you as the CDM for Man U. And then Hugh Trotter, who is, most people don't know this, but Hugh's actually Australian. He lives in Australia. I've streamed games for him at weird times of the day so he can watch it with his family.
He was we was on the same team for
it
was like the very first time. It was
for the ABA.
Sydney Kings.
Yep.
We was on the same team.
Yep. So I remember waking up at like 6 a.m. one time to stream a baseball game for him. He's on the Phillies. He's like, "Hey, can you stream a game for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, what time do you because there's obviously a big time difference." Yeah. So he's like, "Well, it's this time at this time." I'm like, "Cool. Okay." I got like 6 a.m. to stream a game for him. I was like, it was fun. Like, what else am I going to do? It was a weekend. I didn't care. But, Hugh's awesome. His son is Liam, who is tearing it up for the Jazz right now in basketball. Liam is one of those guys, like, I swear to God, in every sport, he's really, really good. So if you're on Liam's team, you're probably going to win the whole thing. And I don't know if Liam is in here. I don't think he is. Oh, he is. Yep. We'll get to him in a little bit. So... And Nick, you're probably going to be kicking yourself for not being on his team.
Hey, you can trade with my stepdad.
Yeah, there you go. Because I think it's the team that you wanted to be on. So we'll see how that goes. We'll move from one United to the other. So Newcastle United is up next.
Newcastle is 4th place in the EPL, mate.
Dang.
That's Australian. I shouldn't have said mate.
I'd say Australian Open's happening right now, so we good. You can say that.
As far as their players, mate, I don't know. Not
St.
one.
Maximum.
They have a Nick Pope. I mean, it's Nick Pope.
But he's from England, so
He's from England. You know,
they
he's
don't
probably
work out.
fucking trash. He's a goalkeeper.
Hey, this man's last name is Byrne, and he is 6'6".
Jesus.
As a back in soccer, that's Pope's 6'6" too.
I wouldn't want to run into any of those two guys.
They got a 5'8". 5'8's their best player, Kyrian.
Who was that midget you were talking? The 5'7", 137 running up against a 6'6" dude. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Better touch the ball.
Go for his knees.
You can't even see the goal behind those two guys.
If only that was hockey. You could get that fight.
Yeah, really.
That's what we need to see.
It would be like two Zdeno Charas with some midget at center.
Let's see who we got. Newcastle.
Muggsy Bugs.
Spud Webb.
Yeah, well, he won his title, so he's pretty good.
Muggsy was smaller, I think. There's short people.
Muggsy was 5'3", Spud was 5'7".
Oh, that's a big difference.
4-inch difference. But Muggsy could dunk, though. That's the crazy thing, is he could actually dunk at 5'3".
Dang, must be nice. I'm 6'something. I can't even touch the rim.
Yeah, no, trust me, dude. I get that. Back in my playing days, 35 years ago.
I got that Zach rim hops. That's what they call it. Can't jump over the pencil on the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of heights though, so it doesn't matter. You know, it's a far fall.
So I know Mike is still with us. So let's get him off the board here. So our goalie for Newcastle is Mark Caputo. Mark's one of our more active guys, so it's going to be fun for him to be on this team with Mike MacGyver, who is the striker. So Mike, I know you wanted to be at PSG. It's a different league, so you're on Newcastle here. So hopefully that works okay for you. At right winger is Andrew Spikes. At the CDM spot is Jacob Dodson. At one of the back spots is Isaac Pearson. So Mike, you're there with another one of your sons. And Brycian Honeysuckle at center back is on this team as well. So a lot more defense on this team than offense as far as the 6 guys go.
Who we at next?
Nottingham.
Oh, this is
my teammate.
Future teammate.
There you go. Nottingham Forest. So are we gonna see like some was it? Damn, my brain just Robin Hood and the Merry Men and stuff like that.
I cried so hard for this team 3 years ago when they got relegated. Just for last year, them to win it, to get into the EPL. They are currently 13th.
Oh, so they're not even good.
They're 13th in the EPL. You know, that's 5 behind Brentford, you know. If you want Nick, you're going to have to at least be 8th. As far as the players, they don't even have pictures for none of them except for Jesse Lingard. Looks I would much rather stay on.
Hey, they got a guy named Hennessy, 6'6".
Wayne Hennessy, the goalkeeper. Let's go.
The third string goalkeeper, but hey, he's there.
That's pretty big for a goalie. He's 6'6".
What's their starting goalie?
Big soccer players coming from?
6'2". That's tough.
Dan Henderson.
You said Dean?
Oh, Dean.
I can't read. I was like, he's gonna start fighting you. See, so they got next.
No.
So pretty much, whoever goes there is they're starting no matter what.
Yeah, they're
that team
trash, garbage.
That team needs to start looking for some transfers.
The not
so
best.
If your name is about to be called, I would like then earmuff this because you're not going to want to hear it. Is that what you tell me?
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Well, it was funny because one of these guys was like, he was hitting me up. He's like, because we were supposed to the other night. And he's like, who did they get picked by? I'm like, we'll tell you on Thursday. And he's like, crap, I'll ask you on Friday. So he's like, he's been hitting me up a lot to find out where he's going. And so hopefully he just didn't listen to that last part because he's going here. So Andrew Still is the goalie. Anthony Simmons is the striker. And then the guy who was beating me up to find out where he went, Andrew Groen, he is the cam for Nottingham Forest. Caleb Davis, who is, I think, on the stream with us right now, he is the one of the back spots there. He told me to surprise him. So, surprise. And of course, I didn't know anything about these teams. So, Caleb, you can't blame me. I don't know anything about any of these teams. De'Aaron Yelton is another one of the backs, and Greg Miller is the left winger for the team. So hopefully all 6 of you guys will make Nottingham Forest from poor to rich. There you go. There's my pun for the night. So we'll move from them to, was it Southampton?
Oh, gosh.
ABC, yeah.
Southampton is literally like dead last, 20th.
Who's Southampton, you said? What was their big name back in the day? I don't even know. I remember Southampton when I was growing up was at least semi-decent. Southampton. Oh, no, that's from Southampton to Liverpool. So he was definitely good then. Oh.
Sadio Mane.
Van Dijk.
Okay.
That was a couple years ago, though.
My favorite goalie ever in the EPL was Peter Cech.
Chick.
He always wore that like leather helmet looking thing. He could save.
You know, back. Dang, they got a lot of. Yeah, if you're back, you're not gonna play really. So.
Yeah, you better hope you're a striker if you're going to Southampton.
That's all I got is defense out there.
Yeah, their coach is the defensive coordinator.
Well, they're getting a lot of offense, so they're getting, I think, 4 of their 5 position players, non-goalies, will be offensive players. So that should help a little bit. So their goalie, Mr. MacGyver, is going to be Emery Crosby, another one of his players. Reagan Crichton is the striker. Brandon Henley is the center defensive midfielder. Grayson Alexander is the right winger. Ian McClintock, sorry, Ian, you're not on this thing tonight. You went to the crappiest team in the whole league. As the cam, and then Ronnie Honeysuckle as the left winger. So no frozen envelope for Ian this time. I think we froze it and gave it backwards. We unfroze it.
That's what he gets for not being on.
Yeah, like having to go in because I guess his shift coordinator quit or something, and then he got called into work, and that's why he's not on tonight. So he's going to jump on later and find out that he's on the mass team. So there you go.
A, B, C, D.
Sorry, Ian. Can't be winners in every content, apparently. He will try, though. He will try. All right, so 3 teams remain. That means we've got 18 players left to get through. And is it all right? So I've heard you guys pronounce it differently every single time. Is it Tottenham? Tottenham? How do you pronounce it?
I'll say Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Hotspur.
This is actually Matt Heisner's favorite Premier League team. At least it was when we was growing up. Yeah, so. I'm surprised he didn't get drafted.
They got some pretty stout team, honestly. They got Richarlison from the striker from Brazil, Hugo Lloris, the goalkeeper from France. Heung-min Son.
Oh, I got that dude on FIFA. He's solid.
Left wing from one of the Koreas. I'm not
South.
sure.
South. Don't know nobody come from North Korea.
No.
They don't play loud.
Harry Kane, of course.
Probably the most notable.
Yeah, probably the most notable.
So you guys mentioned the goalie now, or what, I forget how you pronounce it, the German goalie that you said looked up to Oliver Kahn. So Jordan Downs, who is the goalie for Tottenham here, that's his DNA. So they're getting a pretty good goalie if that's what you were saying about him earlier. They got a pretty good goalie coming in Jordan. So pretty cool to see that. And not only that, we talked about Liam Trotter. If you're on Liam's team, you know you're going to be on a good team. He's on this team as a center back. So maybe this is the team to watch right here. But they've got Pedro Paz as the striker, Kelly Archer as the cam, Didier Drogba Jr. as the one of the backs, and then Philippe Gordizak. That's a crazy name.
He might have to switch to right wing because
So
he might have to. Yeah, he's gonna have to.
Which we can.
Dude's overall 90, 89.
Oh wow! Let's see who his guy is. So he picked some dude named Sterling.
Raheem.
Yep.
Raheem Sterling or Aljamain Sterling.
I'm guessing that's who it is.
Aljamain.
Not sure.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. Aljamain Sterling, the UFC fighter.
Yeah, so.
If you pick that guy's DNA, all he's going to be doing is punching people and getting red carded. So
In the hockey game,
How's that?
his DNA.
He's trading them straight to hockey.
Yeah, Tottenham's fifth in EPL right now. I know it really doesn't matter since we're in the game, but just to live,
Let people know where they're going into.
Yeah, kind of let you know what you go into before you go.
I see this name. We're gonna save it for this.
yeah, so West Ham United is up next. So we finally get to Kevin's name. I'm like, I'll get to him in a second. We'll come to him last out of the other five guys. So tell us a little bit about West Ham United before we get to Kevin's guy.
West Ham actually is 18th place in the EPL and they're facing relegation. As far as their players go, it seems like they got a pretty stacked.
According to FIFA,
like the midfielder, CDM, Cam, or CMs or LMs, they all look pretty solid. They're all 80 and above.
two of their top five players, best players, are goalkeepers. So, and then you got CDM, Cam, and center back for the top five.
Okay.
Is that Maka? Oh, solid. He's young.
Yep.
So let's run through their names real quick, and we'll come to Kevin's guy last. So Ricky Nooner is going to be the goalie. The striker is Brandon Redd. The left winger and joining Kevin's guy on the wing is going to be Shane Marks. Tony Honeysuckle at the center field spot. Mario Gonzalez at the cam. And then Mandingalingo DeJones at right wing. Mandingalingo.
What is his? Mares. Oh,
I
that's
don't even
Kevin.
know if you can get Mandingalingo in the game. Like, is it going to shorten his name? Does it have like 30 letters? Did you get the first name?
It'll work. It'll work. It should work.
That's hilarious. I should put that on his last name. Like he could be like Ichiro, and on his jersey just says Mandingalingo.
Oh, you can do that. You can do it.
I think I'm going to, because how do I not? How do I not? Because like the Jones is not as cool as Mandingalingo.
Man.
Freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, you got to put that for the last name or something.
I wish the game would pronounce it. That would be amazing, but it's not going to. So, Mandingalingo down the field, like it'd be hilarious. Like I want that to happen so bad.
The hat trick from Mandingalingo.
Let's go
Maybe
back
like
to
who's it, like Babatunde and Mandingalingo on the same team?
Might have to put it.
Let's see. Hold on.
But we got to get them on the same team.
We just got to put all the weird names on one team.
Let's give them all.
Babatunde is Nigerian, right? So Mandingalingo, where did he pick it? Please tell me it's Nigeria.
Brazil.
It's not. It's Brazil.
Man,
so
it's not even Brazilian.
Maybe we're gonna have to trade him to Nigeria. His mom's Nigerian. Let's move him over. So when we actually get to the World Cup, I have to put Babatunde and Leo on the same team. I think that has to happen. So I got one team left, the final 6 guys, and that would be Wolverhampton.
The Wolves. Let's see.
Wolverhampton. They are 16 in the EPL, and their players are ass. I'm just kidding.
Ruben Neves.
They got Joao Moutinho.
Raul Jimenez from Mexico.
So they got a bunch of Portuguese players.
Dang.
They didn't pick Nick Marshall.
Why are they? Hang on. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 of the top 11 players are from Portugal.
Wow.
And they didn't take the Portugal guy in the content.
Oh, I hope y'all get relegated. I mean, I'm sorry. You just failed to pick up the Portuguese player, mate.
Hey, they're solid.
Was that who you picked? Were you from Portugal? Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's ridiculous then. So maybe who knows? Maybe they trade for you during the season. We'll see. All right, so let's finish this off. So we got, I guess it's The Witcher. I don't know. Geralt Vandelong, another one of Garrett's guys, is the goaltender. The striker, another one of Garrett's guys, G Park Sun, Patrick Kelly at the back spot, Maverick MacGyver at the right winger, Cody Lawrence at the cam, and our Mr. Irrelevant tonight is one of my oldest friends, Kyle McInturf, who is the center midfielder, and that rounds us out for all of our team assignments. So obviously, we've been on a long time, guys. It's like 2 hours. It's pretty good.
I mean, you left about 10 minutes, but you know.
I did. I blue screened of death. It started like buzzing, and I'm like, oh God, did my computer just die? That would suck. I'm on this for everything I do, and if I lose it, I'm done. So we got through it. I came back. We made it through. So thank you both for jumping on, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on and doing this. We'll try and do more of this stuff in the future. I think it's fun when we get you guys involved, and appreciate you coming on talking about the stuff that I know nothing about, and really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
You got to get that tennis going.
I feel like I did a lot better this part, was talking on this than I did back in when I did my first podcast. Man. That was
we're all learning, man.
Because now
I do all of my stuff like it's like radio podcasts. Like I don't do video, so to do something like this is a little bit different for me. I don't like it as much. I like just talking and reading and doing whatever I do. It's hard. It's very hard. So like I know Tyler said that you had some worry about coming on, but you did great, dude. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, sir. Thanks for having
me. Both, man. We'll sign off, man. So I'll post this on both Discord and on the Facebook page, so everybody can see where their teams are. Like I said, I'll get content started, created hopefully soon, and I'll be posting guys up here for you guys to take a look at. If you want changes to how your guy looks, just let me know. Whatever you guys want, I'll make it happen, and then we'll get games rolling sometime next month.
Brentford, I call a commentator on that game. Brentford leaves.
I gotta figure that out, man. Like, I seriously, I want to do that. Like, Trent Kalis has been on my ass to do like Blackhawks and Bulls games and stuff. I got to figure that out because I think it'd be a lot of fun if we could do our own play-by-play.
I think you might record it and then have us watch it and do this at the same time. I don't know how that would work. How are people on YouTube?
Yeah. There's some people that Twitch it. I think that I know that Austin Yelton would do UFC, and he would stream it live and then talk over top of it. So I don't know how to do that yet. We'll figure it out.
Definitely.
But I guess we'll sign off. It's like 11:34 here. I know it's 10:34 where you guys are. So thanks for staying up late with us. For the one person who's still watching, thanks again for watching tonight. Like I said, I'll post everything and we'll get it up and we'll get it rolling. So good night, guys.
All right. See you next time.
Y'all be great. Go Brentford.
There you go. Go Brentford. See you guys.
See you.